Salutations, humans. My name is Jaden, but you can call me Jane. Today, we're going to be talking about how becoming vegetarian is the worst mistake of my whole life. Okay, this is the worst mistake. Does that mean I'm going to stop being vegetarian? Probably not, because I'm stupid. But let's just talk about it, guys. I grew up eating meat for pretty much my entire life, and one day when I was actually working with the police, I was doing my my co-op, and I was there, and then there was this police guy giving this great speech about, if something doesn't make sense to you, you should do what makes sense. And when I was a small little kid, I used to think, man, why do we gotta kill all the animals? I don't really see a purpose in it, and I don't really think I need meat. I used to think that when I was super young, but I'd always eat meat because it was delicious, and it is delicious. But I said to myself, you know what? Like, if I really feel this way, if I really feel bad about the fact that an animal had died for me to eat it, maybe I should just go vegetarian. I came home. I came home that day. Won't forget it. I came home. I shaved my head bald as well because I also had the epiphany after this police officer's amazing speech at my at the station that like, I don't need this hair. Like, what is it good for? I just buzzed the whole thing. So my my family was kind of like, what the fuck? It's like my mom made a meal and she's like, I was like, there's meat in that. No. And at the time when I started, I had no idea what to eat, so I was just kind of eating eggs and cereal. Holy shit. It was so bad. And then I sit down and I realize that I don't have anything to eat. I have to figure out all the foods. But guys, the reason that becoming vegetarian is a terrible idea, at least for me, is because I'm fucking lazy. I'm so bad at keeping track of things like my vitamins, keeping track of things like just how much food I need, and like at the end of the day, when I ate meat, everything was just so much easier. And I'm going to break down to you guys some of the reasons that it was super easy. And if you're someone like me, why I don't think you should become vegetarian at all. Don't do it. So if you're here right now, I'm sick. And that's a part of like my theory around what might be going wrong. Anyway, let's just jump into what started happening. So I started finding foods. I started finding like tofu. I did a little bit of research, found out that, I'm probably going to be low in iron, B6, B12. Okay, well, yeah, that's good enough, right? But like I said, I'm lazy and I wouldn't always keep up with things like my vitamins. And the first weird thing that ended up happening when I became vegetarian is I started suffering from something called a meat mares. Now, if you don't know what a meat mare is, it sounds like something I'm just making up, but you can Google this shit. Essentially, for the first while, and sometimes just at random, I would just have dreams being covered in meat, just covered in it, just like bathing in it, eating it accidentally. And I'm just like, what the heck is this? And it kept happening to the point where I had to Google it. I was like, oh, this is called a meat mare. This is just a normal phenomenon when going from eating meat to not, right? Okay, that's not so bad. Some good things. Let's talk about the good a little bit. I used to, in college, I always weighed around 220. Like, I was 215, 220 is a pretty normal weight. Went vegetarian, I did lose a considerable amount. My normal walking weight became something like 210, eventually 206 when I became more active. So I did lose a bit of weight, right? And people are going to be like, oh, it's muscle mass due to lack of protein. No, I was still hitting my protein counts. And I realized that I had to be very particular. There's certain foods that I couldn't go without. And becoming vegan is not easy. It's not impossible. But I realized that, hey, if I want complete protein, if I want to get my amino acids, I need to have some sort of animal-based protein. I need like eggs, right? If you don't know, there's like 20 amino acids and blah, blah, blah. You need the amino acids to function together to do their job. Okay, kind of like that. And unfortunately for me, I had to eat a lot of damn eggs forever. I had to learn different combinations of protein. I had to learn about rice and beans. I'm kind of like, this is a rant, right? I'm just kind of going on about like what I had to do. And all of this was not enough, by the way, for what happened later. And sometimes I would skip meals. Sometimes I would, and for lazy people, if you can't stick to a consistent diet, if you can't do research, I'm pretty sure I haven't done enough research to be healthy. And for a while, I thought it was good. I was still healthy. I was still fit. I was still able to keep up numbers. But a part of that is because I'm young. And a part of that is because I still had a bunch of gains left on the table. And I trained pretty hard way back when. So I don't think that was because I'm vegetarian. So I'm going to wipe my nose. And a few years passed, and what I started noticing was my immune system became a lot worse, like significantly worse. Like everything. Pretty much any time flu season would come around, I would be sick a little bit. And that was odd because I didn't normally get sick. And I attributed it to just becoming older. I'm older, so maybe my immune system isn't that great. And keep in mind, guys, I'm doing cardio. I'm running, I'm exercising, and I'm doing things to make sure that I'm healthy. And when you run and stuff, it's good for your body because increased blood flow and proper delivery of oxygen and iron and all that comes from having a healthy blood, right? And I was training. That didn't stop what was coming next. I went from getting sick once or twice a flu season, right? And by the way, I would never get sick before. I had an amazing immune system. And I started getting sick all the time. I was like, okay, what the heck? And then when I would get sick, guys, I would get sick not for 2 days, not for 3 days, not for 4, but for literal months. And you might be like, okay, well, maybe that's a bacterial infection. Okay, well, sure. Yeah, I took antibiotics, it cleared. But then I noticed it kept happening, and I'm wondering, like, what is it? Maybe some type of bacteria in my gut is changing. Something is different to where now it's very easy for me to get sick and stay sick for a long time, and the symptoms just persist. This is where my major gripe has come, the being sick all the time. And I do want to say, correlation does not equal causation, right? I turned vegetarian and now I'm getting sick. Does that mean that becoming vegetarian made me more sick? Well, no, right? And let's talk about some things that might be, secondary reasons. I haven't gone for a doctor's checkup in like many, many years. Okay, that's kind of bad. Haven't done blood tests. Haven't done a lot of things that I should do in terms of health. And that's just because I'm being lazy and dumb. Also, in tandem with that, the job I work, I go to a place where it's very easy to get sick. Very, very easy, very easy. But something I noticed is the people around me either have built up immunity to the sickness or just have better immune systems. So yes, I want to blame it on being vegetarian, but it's mostly because I think I'm just being lazy about health. People have told me this before. Hey, Jaden, you need to take care of your immune system. Blah, 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 blah. You need to eat this, eat that, eat that. And I honestly I'm thinking if I just ate meat, if I just went back to eating meat or fish or eating something like that, I think my immune system would snap back to normal. And yeah, that's why this has felt like such a big mistake. I hate being sick. And I'm sick all the fucking time now. Anyhow, that's pretty much the rant. I'm considering, changing my diet, but we'll see. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.